Hey guys, Radamon here for another episode of Kenshi. So last episode, named Asthmatic Toddler Squad, I demonstrated how easy it is to lose. I just wanted to have an episode like that to establish how ridiculously easy it is to lose. Yes, so I've done a whole lot of losing, obviously, and we now have my pawns, or characters I should call them, healing up. Radamon is finally fully healed, so I'm going to have him head on out. And we've got some of these guys just mining away. Now, the goal of my episode, this episode, is to get some research done. So let's pause for just a moment and head on over to our newly minted home. Here it is. I think I will have Radamon enter it so I can see it a little bit better while everyone else heals up. Chung is done healing, so he's going to join the miners in the mining tasks. Now, I have gotten a crazy amount of very, very useful tips, which is great. So I wanted to thank you all for that, and when I use your tip, I'll attempt to mention it. So here we are. We are home in this terrible little whatever it is. We have a little backpack store here. Once it's daytime, I can buy some bed rests. But what I'm going to do is, as I said, I want to start to tech up. So we're going to do a small research bench. This only really needs one interaction point. And I'm just going to plop it maybe by the door. It doesn't really matter where it goes. I'll just put it like this. Oops. Confirm. And we are going to need, what do we need? 3 building materials for it. That's not a problem. Alright, you are going to join the rest of them in the mining. And I'm just going to have them mining briefly while I heal up. Hamet and Mew are close. Soon, I will have some permanent sort of jobs for them. Or not that soon. I shouldn't say soon. It might be a little while, but we're working on it. We're getting there. So for tips, obviously, hauling and strength training is best done when carrying a character as well. So I'm not really ready to do that sort of training regimen yet. I ideally would like a backpack and some other things. So what I'm doing now is just trying to gain some resources so I can add basic amenities to the little starter base that I have. And this starter base is only really going to allow me to get the technology and the training done so that I can set up a real town. So if you have an idea for a real town starter location, I was thinking I would have it be around here, sort of in the middle of Hive, Hub, and Squin. But if you have a different idea, I am all ears. I'd love to hear it. The reason I picked there is and I'll try to explain, when you're on the boundary of multiple biomes, you can have the benefits of multiple biomes. So, how to explain? Certain crops, if I prospect, I think it's called prospecting. So certain crops will grow in different environments. So this environment, for instance, is 100% arid and 10% green. So arid crops will grow here like cacti, but green crops not so much. Now, if you establish a town on the boundary of 2 biomes, you can benefit from those 2 biomes. So if one side is green and the other side is arid, you'll be able to grow both cacti and crops that require green. So it behooves you to try to find a nice, flat, comfortable spot that has some foot traffic if you want to have, if you want to sell some stuff automatically. Maybe proximity to towns or guards. I mean, there's a lot of different factors to consider. You also don't necessarily need just one. You can have multiple little town bases, etc. So there's that as well. As for tips, let me go over some of these beautiful tips. A lot of you, like an unbelievable amount of you, have suggested that I wear a backpack and carry bodies to strength train, and I'm planning on that. So that is something I'm planning on doing. So you needn't mention it no more. It will be done. That would be overwhelmingly the most common tip I've received. Now, I've received a lot of tips about recruiting certain people. I think I'm done adding people to this group, at least for right now. I will be adding more later, but I just want to get the basic town set up and get these 7 trained up to be able to defend themselves, and then I can start adding additional people. If I just keep adding people, there will be no end to the amount of people I'm able to add. But I'm keeping it in the backlog of things to remember, people that I can additionally put into use and recruit. So as for some other tips, Hero Syndicate mentioned that I can see the run speed of everyone. So if I click this little up arrow, we can see what their bonuses are for strength or athletics, to see, if they're encumbered enough to build stats. So let me give you a for instance. I'm going to really weigh down Ruka rather, with all iron. And as you can see here, her run speed is obviously really, really low, and then her strength is about as high as it can go. It can go a little bit higher if I pick up Mew. And now she's building strength about as fast as one can. So that is the beauty of that little tab, and obviously you can see some other statistics as well. So thank you for that, Hero Syndicate. And he also mentioned that light affects job efficiency, which is pretty cool. The lanterns that you can buy obviously are really bad for sneaking, but they're really good for a lot of other things, like mining if I don't have a source of light nearby. So that's something to consider as well. Alright, Mew is the best miner, so let's put her on the task. And Hamet just healed up, and it's also daybreak, so actually let's go ahead and head back towards town. And what I'll do is I will share the load so that I'm not super, super slow. Oh. Here we go. We have some banditos, some dust bandits right on our tail. What I can do here is, because I don't want to fight them alone, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ditch my load of ore. I can come back for it as long as it's not stolen, and just get the town guards to help me out here. And we'll actually take this fight. I just don't want to take it without a little bit of backup. Just because I just healed up fully for the first time in a while. As you can see, the ore is just sort of sitting there. And once we get closer to the city, the town guards will get involved, and then we'll get involved, because I'm down for a fight. I just don't want to do it where my people get critically injured for too long. But one thing about this game is you definitely need to get in a lot of fights and lose a lot of fights in order to level up. That is like a fundamental necessity. You need to get your butt kicked. I just don't want to get it so kicked that I'm out of the game for a while. But getting beat up raises your toughness, which in turn allows you to pick harder fights later on. Now, obviously, this fight is going to be won pretty easily, given that I have unbelievably strong town guard backup. And I don't think I took too much permanent damage. Mew actually got pretty shredded. But she's not crippled anywhere, as far as I can tell. And I'm just patching myself up. The only way to become tougher is to have the snot beat out of you, essentially. Oh, you keep stopping patching her up. Just keep doing it. Don't have a medkit. Okay, we can fix that. Now I'm leveling up my main character's medic stuff so that I can get as much skill out of it as possible. Okay, for some reason there's a little bit of healing left needing to do, but that's fine. Alright, let's go back for that ore that we had to dump to increase our run speed, and then start on the base. The beautiful, beautiful base that I want. Alright, Chung. There, he's way down enough. This is a very inefficient way to do mining. I'm only doing it because I'm trying to buy time for the injuries that I had. Obviously, if I had a ore box and proper city walls and all that, that'd be a much better way. Now, one thing I forgot to say is there's a lot better ways to build up cash early on. Thieving comes to mind. You can steal like no other. Ooh, this is some more bandits. Dust bandits will never be my friends. And I don't mind the opportunity to jump into a fight. Now, yes, there is a lot to loot here. And the guards don't really care if I take their stuff, like, at all. So, the issue, however, is the weight. Their stuff does weigh a lot. And not all the weapons are all that great either. So, for instance, this weapon is very, very slightly better than the one that I have available to me. It's not that much of a benefit, but you know, I'll take pretty much all that I can get. Let's go ahead and loot a little bit. I'm not that concerned because this isn't really great stuff. I'm going to want to be leveling up with katanas and the like. But at least it's some starter armor that offers at least a little bit of protection. But it will, of course, additionally weigh me down. So I do have to measure the cost-benefit of it all. But some free gear is some free gear. Where's their leader? Usually the leader has the best stuff. Maybe I've already looted the leader. Alright, if I move all my pawns off of it, I'll be more easily able to find the leader. Ah, there's the boss. Right there. Dust Boss. Okay, Mr. Dust Boss, your pants are better than my pants. I think. Yep, they are definitely better. The really quick and easy way is just to check the cost of buying it. Or selling it, for that matter. And the weapon is pretty decent as well. But for now, I'm just going to go and sell what I've got. They can check my gear all they want. I'm not stealing or thieving anything. All right, let's get to the general store and ditch some of this stuff. And we also need some building materials for the research bench. Okay, so we have 3 building materials on the researcher, which is great. So that's exactly what we need. 1, 2, I think. 3. And they also have some books that I can buy. These books are for research. The simplest way to put it. I'm not going to really concern myself with trying to min-max the armor. If any of you have played a game like, let's say, Diablo. Oh, we're out of range. Mew's out of range. You would know that trying to find, like, rare items... Wow, you are slow because you are loaded down. Trying to find rare items when you're level 5 is kind of worthless because once you get to, like, level 10... all those level 5 items that you thought were really good are really not that useful anymore. That's pretty similar here. I'm not really worrying about my gear because I'm planning on, for the most part, it getting a lot better. Now, there is a limit of what you can craft. Most of the best items have to be taken off of faction leaders and the like. So, I do plan on making at least some good stuff, but most of the good stuff is going to come from crafting it. Looting it from world bosses and the like. All right, so we're getting this research bench up and running. And it's done. Mew is standing in the shop now. I guess with Chung. I didn't pull Chung over either. She's still heavily encumbered. Toothpicks? Yeah, I can sell those. And then I'm just going to sell the weapon. Eventually I'll buy decent weapons for all these guys, but not yet. All right, now I have to think about research, right? So let's get everyone together real quick and try to... I think the best researcher, the person with the highest science is definitely going to be Dr. Chung. So I'm going to assign him to the research bench. And the way this works is I am going to put these little research books into the bench. And we can start researching. Now, the things I want to research primarily, initially, are for training purposes. So let's go and set up training dummies. I also want to get iron plates. Now, this stuff is for city building. Iron plates is a building material, as is stone mining. So a lot of the industry here, the storage box ore and storage boxes, farming, all this stuff is for industry. I also want to be able to farm, but for that I need some of the materials. So if I want, for instance, to grow rice, I'm going to need 2 rice weed to start. Electricity is going to be really nice for the base later on, but initially we don't really need that. I'm going to research makeshift walls because that's for base building. And then also core. I'm going to want some sort of house, right? I can't just like live in little storage sheds. So we're going to want small house. And that's all the research I have for now. That's all the books I have for now. Obviously, I can get more. All right, so let's try to have everyone run at about 16 miles an hour. So to move the gear around, weight-wise, for that purpose. So let's 9 pounds, 6 pounds. Some of this meat I'm going to need to just cook. And we just assigned him to cook a bunch. And I say 16, it's arbitrary, really, truly. I'm going to just dump the helmet for now. It's too heavy. Miyu is not a particularly tough pawn character, whatever you want to call it. Alright, I'm going to cook up a little bit. Briefly. Hello. Because the house is currently public, people can just wander in. And this dried meat will definitely allow us to feed ourselves a little bit more efficiently. While we do that, let's go ahead and cancel this job. Let's get those beds built. They're not great, but they're better than nothing. So there's different types of backpacks. Yeah, I wanted sleeping bags. I'm actually going to sell some raw meat just because I'm trying to free up some room. And we can make multiple trips. There is books here. There's maps. Meds. I think I already have a splint kit, but I might want a better one. Let's get the advanced one so we can afford it. Okay. So this will allow us to put 2 of our beds down. And I'll get 2 more. And this isn't the full rest value of like a bed or whatever, but it's better than nothing. It'll heal us up a little bit, and we'll buy 2 more sleeping bags. Sort of makeshift. I wanted the base to be a little homey, but so the Thieves Backpack is the most bang for your buck backpack you can own, because it doesn't hinder your combat. So if you look at the Thieves Backpack, it lowers your skill bonus a teeny bit. But all the other ones, as you can see, like the large one, really, really hurts your dodge and combat speed and all that. Combat speed is really, really important because it's sort of he who hits first wins sometimes in this game. So you got to be careful about what backpacks you use. Now, if you have like a trader, obviously they can use a large backpack and it doesn't really matter. But now that I have this beautiful backpack, what I can do is I can stick the meat in it, and then everyone around can draw from it in order to gain sustenance. And it won't... I can be careful as to not allow it to weigh my character down too much. And then only one character will need the food, and all the other ones can draw from it. So for right now, what I'm going to do is just rest up everyone else. My main character needs some rest as well. I guess I can cook all my meat. And we just got training dummies. That's very cool. I think we're going to need some iron to build those, but that comes later. So for the iron, how fast is Geronimo? Okay, still 16. Perfect. Let's go ahead and set up a build of training for training dummies. Now, the base training dummy only allows you to level up to level 6. That's not very high. It's better than 0. So the people in the group that really can't attack worth a damn will be able to train a little bit. So what we're going to need is 12 iron plates to be able to construct this. And I think that will require me to do a little bit of travel. But I want everyone to sort of heal up. So Rhodamont and Green, let's go check in with our local trader to see if they have some iron plates to get some of those dummies up. And what I aim to do is I aim to try to train some of my characters while other ones are doing production, you know, gaining money so that I can expand. So here is some iron plates. Obviously not enough for all the training dummies, but some that will have to do for now. Now I can also buy wheat straw, which will unlock some of the research that I wanted to get, and cotton for the very much the same reason. So let's head on back and buy some books on our way as well. Now the beauty of having a little starter home in a city is everything you need is really, really close by. It lets you tech up and build up fast, but with the downside, okay, that is the last of the money I have. With the downside of, you know, there's a very limited amount of production that I can do because of building space. Okay, so we're getting one training dummy all set. And then we will put the books and the farming stuff in and research it. So cotton farming and wheat straw farming. Already queued up, done and done. All right. Is anyone fully healed? Not yet. And now that I have, you know, no money, it behooves me to do some more mining. Get some more of that beautiful mining done. Now, as you've seen, you really only can queue up 5 stacked in something. So one of the concepts of sort of crafting later on, yeah, I will steal the spiked helmet, is that for base design, you want to store things nearby. So let's say you're mining something or farming something. You want an ore box nearby so that you can stash that stuff more easily. All right, so Hobbs, you're done. Ruka's done. Hamit's done. Mew still needs a little bit. Hamit has some meat, presumably, that he needs to offload. Dr. Chung needs some food to stay on him because he is sticking around and we're going to leave him behind to do some research. But everyone else can offload their meat to Radamont's backpack because they'll draw from the backpack. As you can see, he is getting a little encumbered. There we go. It's a little better. 15 is fine. And here's my tech log. So what we're aiming to do is, and I guess I can go do that now. You're healed enough. Mew, I guess you're healed enough. It'd be nice if I allowed you to get healed a bit more, but I'm not going to. All right, Mr. Hamit. Let's get the rest of this meat stashed away and head out to find some ore. With my main character. Did I just... Yeah, I want the way I want it to go. Good. Pack beast. Must be people nearby. Yep, there's a whole caravan. I always forget where this stuff is. I can prospect for it. I might have overshot it. Who is yelling over here? Dust Boss. Oh. That's not someone I want to wander into. Not an accident. I'm just looking around, making sure I know my surroundings. That's one of the ways you can get killed pretty easily is not knowing what's around you. I'd like to avoid the instant death. But, wow. The one problem, I would say, playing Kenshi is you get done with half an hour very quickly. All I really managed to do is to set up a few sleeping bags and a research bench and get everyone healed up. And alas, that is about all I accomplished, which is just mind-boggling to me. Yeah, I'm not the best player ever, and yeah, I'm doing things a little inefficiently, but still, I think this is probably a shared thought that a lot of people have, that you tend to not be able to get stuff done very quickly. I'm just looking at who's fighting up here. So Hungry Bandits against Dust Boss, or Dust Bandits. Bandits versus Bandits. That's cute. Well, I really appreciate all the feedback I've been receiving on this series. Obviously, I'm not a very experienced player. So the more feedback that you can provide me, the better I will ever be at this game. So if you have not just like tips, but like, oh, you should put your base here, or oh, you should really think about, you know, if there's some fundamental game mechanic-y things that I've overlooked because of my inexperience, drop me a line, and I'll credit you with the idea. So I just wanted to, with that in mind, give a quick thank you to all the people that have been helping me. Like Provoco said, buy a Thieves Backpack. Way too many people mentioned the whole, you know, hauling plus encumbrance to raise strength. Yeah, there you have it. Also, I know that there has been a lot of requests for more Kenshi, so I'm going to try to work that into my schedule. Right now, I don't have the time to do it, but maybe after New Year's, I can have an episode every day. We'll have to see. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I hope you tune in next time. Adios.